Fallout 4 is an open world that is set within a post-apocalyptic environment that encompasses the American city of Boston and the surrounding Massachusetts region known in-game as the Commonwealth. The main story takes place in the year 2020, excuse me, 2287, 2287, 10 years after the events of Fallout 3 and 210 years after a nuclear holocaust known as the Great War. The player assumes control of a character simply referred to as the sole survivor who emerges from a long-term cryogenic stasis in Vault 111 in underground nuclear fallout shelter. After witnessing the murder of their spouse and the kidnapping of their son, Sean, the sole survivor ventures out into the Commonwealth to search for their missing child. The player explores the game's dilapidated world, completes quests, assists factions, and acquires experience points to level up and increase the abilities of their character. New features to the series include the ability to develop and manage settlements and an extensive crafting system where materials scavenged from the environment can be used to craft explosives, upgrade weapons and armors, and construct, furnish, and improve settlements. It is the first game in the series to feature a fully voiced protagonist. So, diving right into the plot, Fallout 4, like I said, takes place in the year 2020. Why do I want to say 2020? Why do I want to say 2020? Oh my God, I'm so bad with math, with numbers. My brain's like all fried up. It takes place in the year 2287, 10 years after the events of Fallout 3, and 210 years after the Sino American War, a war between the United States and China over natural resources, which ended via a nuclear holocaust called the Great War. The setting is post apocalyptic, covering a region that includes Boston and other parts of New England known as the Commonwealth. Unlike the previous titles, Fallout 4's story begins on the day the bombs dropped, October 23rd, 2077. Um, the game takes place in an alternate version of history that features 1940s and 50s American aesthetics such as diners and drive-in theaters, while designs and technologies advance in the directions imagined during the era. The resulting universe is thus a retro-futuristic one where society can evolve enough to produce laser weapons to manipulate genes and create nearly autonomous artificial intelligence, all within the confines of 1950s technologies such as the widespread use of atomic power and vacuum tubes, as well as having the integrated circuitry of the digital age. The architecture, advertisements, and general living styles are depicted to be largely unchanged since the 1950s, while including futuristic products such as robotic rocking horses for children and high-tech fallout shelters known as vaults. Post-war society currency is based on bottle caps, often simply called caps. These are four main factions. There are four main factions that the player can choose to support throughout the story. The Institute, a secretive society stemming from the former Commonwealth Institute of Technology that specializes in the creation of artificial humanoids called synths. The Brotherhood of Steel, a quasi-religious paramilitary aiming to regulate the usage of advanced technology. The Minuteman, a militia dedicated to protecting settlements that requires help, and the Railroad, an underground organization designing to rescue synths from the Institute. All right, so all right, so all right, so let's see here. There are characters. The players' characters um are either, if you are a male, you can choose, the gender, and you get to choose, your appearance. Takes shelter in Vault 11, 111, emerging exactly 210 years after, later on October 23rd, 2287. 87, and assuming the name of the sole survivor, there are 13 possible companions in the story. Dogmeat, a loyal German Shepherd, is the only mandatory companion, but six others must at least be encountered. Codsworth, the sole survivor's robotic butler; Deacon, a railroad agent; John Hancock, mayor of the settlement; Good Neighbor, Nick Valentine; a synth detective, Piper Wright; an intrepid reporter; and Preston Garvey, a resilient member of the Minutemen. The other six possible companions are Kate, an Irish descendant cage fighter; Curie, a robotic scientist; Dancy, a Brotherhood of Steel paladin; Robert McCready, voiced by Matthew Mercer, um, a mercenary, strong, a super mutant sympathetic to humans; and X688, an institute courser. Seven of the companions become romance options once they idolize the sole survivor, regardless of the player's character's gender, which are, Kate, Curie, Dance, Hancock, McCready, Piper, and Preston, though Curie cannot be romanced in her robot form. The sole survivor can do once transferring her to a synth body. So the story takes place in the year 2077. A nuclear war erupts between the United States and China. In Massachusetts, the protagonists and their family, consisting of their husband Nate or wife Nora, depending on the player's chosen sex, and their baby boy Sean, escape into Vault 111, gaining entry due to a Vault Tech representative signing them up for it immediately prior to the bombs dropping. Inside, the family members are tricked into entering cryogenic pods and frozen alive. 150 years later, the protagonist's spouse is killed, and Sean is taken away by a mysterious group. The life support system malfunctions at a later date and unfreezes the protagonist, who leaves their pod, realizing they are the sole survivor of Vault 111. As the remaining residents are deceased, they emerge from the vault into a wasteland now known as the Commonwealth. Returning home, the player reunites with their former robot butler, Codsworth, who reveals that a total of 210 years have passed since the nuclear attack. At Codsworth's suggestion, the sole survivor reaches the nearby town of Concord, befriending a dog named Dogmeat and a member, played by or voiced by River, and a member of a revived version of the Minuteman named Preston Garvey. In Diamond City, a settlement built within Fenway Park, the sole survivor learns that an organization called the Institute has been terrifying the Commonwealth by kidnapping humans and replacing them with synths, humanoid robots who are indistinguishable from real humans. After rescuing the android private detective Nick Valentine, the sole survivor uncovers the identity of their spouse's killer as the mercenary Conrad Kellogg, who the sole survivor proceeds to hunt down and kill, though he spends his last moments revealing that Sean is inside the Institute. Meanwhile, the Brotherhood of Steel arrives in the Commonwealth and the capital wasteland on board a modified airship led by Elder Arthur Maxson. The sole survivor uses a cybernetic device from Kellogg's brain to access his memories with the help of Dr. Amari, a brain specialist, and learns the only way to get into the Institute is through teleportation. They track down former Institute scientist Brian Virgil for help in infiltrating it, and he provides schematics for a large teleportation device. Receiving assistance from the railroad and its leader, Desdemona, the sole survivor retrieves a teleportation chip and has it decimated. Has it decoded. Jesus Christ. After successfully building the device, the sole survivor enters the Institute. The sole survivor meets a much older Sean, which is like, I remember when I played the game, that whole thing. I mean, it makes I mean, it makes I mean, yeah, I mean, 100%. Like, of course, like that whole revelation of that a much older Sean is alive. That completely surprised me and shocked me. And I was like, it was really crazy, you know. Who's revealed to have become the institute's director and explains that his abduction 60 years prior was was part of a synth experiment due to his uncorrupted pre-war DNA. After talking to Sean, the player decides who to align with for an inevitable war between the Institute, the Railroad, the Minuteman, and the Brotherhood of Steel. If you choose the Minuteman, after Garvey promotes the player to general and retakes their old base, they repulse an Institute attack and devise a plan to eliminate them. The player infiltrates it again and blows up the reactor, killing Sean and the rest of the Institute. Should the sole survivor, align themselves with the Institute, they learn that Sean is dying of cancer and wants the player to succeed him as director. The sole survivor destroys the Brotherhood of Steel's airship and massacres the railroad's headquarters, removing the presence of both groups from the Commonwealth, after which Sean peacefully passes away. If the player joins the Brotherhood of Steel, they will destroy the railroad due to the group's desire to help, since clashing with the Brotherhood's technophobic ideology. They then infiltrate the Institute with the aid of a massive robot called the Liberty Prime and blow up the reactor, killing Sean and the rest of the Institute. If you join the Railroad, they will work with the Institute while secretly organizing a synth rebellion. The Brotherhood of Steel attacks the Railroad, requiring the sole survivor to blow up the airship. The player then assaults the Institute, freeing the synths and blowing up the reactor, killing Sean and the rest of the Institute. So 3 out of 4, Sean dies along with the rest of the Institute, along with the rest of the Institute. And the one with the where you join the Institute, he passes away peacefully. And he's in his 60s, so he's like an elderly man. But that revelation is just that took me by surprise. But yeah, like I mentioned, Fallout 4 is my favorite game out of all. And after watching Fallout, the season one, the Amazon TV show, after watching that, I'm like, yeah, I got a lot of Fallout 4. I don't know if it's, I mean, I have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure season one of Fallout, of Amazon's Fallout, is like heavily based or mostly based on Fallout 4 rather than 1, 2, or 3, because with everything, the caps and just the story, and the whole cryogenics, you know cryogenics, stasis, and it's just great. I love it. It's my favorite game of them all. Um, it's it's an excellent addition to the series. It's very thought provoking. I love the narrative of the story. It's really thought provoking and intuitive with the creation tools, the large amount of content, the overall combat, and the freedom that the player is given. It's great. I love the new experiences. Um, and that just keeps coming, and you can always have another perk to unlock. uh, it's vastly improved with the combat and the denser world, and the score is absolutely, the music of this game is brilliant. um, I thought the visuals were fine for for whatever year this game came out. But yeah, like I said, the world exploration, crafting, atmosphere, the story of Fallout 4 are all the key parts of this highly successful, franchise. And I love the adventure and of me playing it, and I had a great time doing it too. Um, but yeah, it's very unforgettable. The depth, the everything. Um, I mean, I thought the game's role-playing elements were pretty was pretty simplistic. Could have been maybe a bit better. compared to its predecessor, and there were a couple technical issues that I did encounter. But other than that, I love this game. I really don't care. I just love Fallout 4. I like out of all the games, out of all the Fallout games, I can see myself playing Fallout 4 over and over and over again because this is the most fun I had in all the franchises. And I do know that a remaster of Fallout 4, the Anniversary Edition, came out back in very recently. I think it came out last month for not all for most platforms. I do know it's coming out on the Nintendo Switch 2 next year. I don't really care about Nintendo Switch 2. But yeah, like there are six DLC contacts add-ons, including the Far Harbor and the Nuka War. But yeah, this movie, yeah, this is a movie. No, this would go on, Fallout 4 will go on and win, respective awards for Game of the Year and Best Game at the DICE Awards and British Academy Games Awards, and just kudos, congratulations to everyone involved. Um, and it shipped 12 million units for retailers, which generated $750 million US dollars within the first 24 hours of its launch, which is just insane. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all. That's pretty much the breakdown and the whole story and everything going into Fallout when it comes to Fallout 4. In my opinion, it's my favorite one out of all of them. But I know a lot of people gets a lot of nostalgia with the first two Fallout games. Even though I enjoyed the first two Fallout games, it is. I mean, maybe because I'm from a different generation, maybe because I'm a generation too late, but I felt like those first two games, kind of like the original arcade Mortal Kombat games, the classic arcade Mortal Kombat games, they're pretty much outdated. Enjoyable, but outdated. But anyway, that's all I have to say, everyone. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Definitely subscribe because that would help me and my YouTube channel out a lot. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.